Hey everyone, Waffles again with another Wargaming Wednesday, and today I'm going to do a follow-up on Legion. This is going to be mostly about the models and the building aspect versus the gameplay. Still trying to learn that. It's a new system. It's not necessarily hard, but it's definitely different than all the other systems I've learned. A little bit more dicey, heavy, like less dice, but more dice do more things. Yeah, it's a little different. You got 8-sided and 6-sided that work together, and it's yeah. Anyway, so models. I'm pretty happy with them for the most part. If you've ever built anything with the Bones models, it's a lot like that. So the plastic's got a little bit of give to it, which I like. Makes them more durable, but what I dislike is sometimes you do have to fix them. These aren't super bad though. A little bit of hot water, just like if you've ever worked the fine cast or the Bones. Hot water, bend it, and it will stick to its shape. But as you can see on this guy, missile launcher, it's bent a little bit. But so was that rifle. Had a little bit of TLC, and it came to a pretty decent shape. The overall quality of the models, uh, good and bad in some aspects. So putting the pieces together, um, regular old-fashioned super glue. That's what I found works the best. I use Testor's model cement for my Warhammer figures, and I really love that stuff because it's a gooey dry, not super tight. So it gives a little bit of durability to the models. You drop them, they have a little bit of give before they just start to snap. And I tried doing it on these, and it doesn't want to work that great. It does work, but you do have to score the edges. You kind of have to cut into the plastic a little bit and make the pieces fit. But once they're on, they do seem to be pretty stuck. If you don't have the time for that, or anything, or even if you just use regular glue, regular super glue, it works. And it works pretty good. Um, Mold lines, not super terrible on these guys. I was on the fence about it because I saw the plastic, and like with the Bones, there was a lot of mold lines that you have to get rid of. These, not a whole lot. They actually come pretty clean. Also, a lot of it, except for the big models, was a Tension set. So, like on Stormtrooper here, body was all one piece, arms were one piece. And the arms have pegs that go into the torso. And to get it, you have to kind of pull it, which they do give pretty easy. You don't have to worry about snapping them. And they sit in there. So a little bit of glue, you push them in there, get them kind of snug. You can push pretty hard with your fingers and don't have to worry about breaking anything. They fit together, and once they're there, they're there. Like, even if you didn't have any glue on these models, for the most part, for at least this starter set, things would fit together pretty good, and I wouldn't have a whole lot of worry about stuff moving. So it's well constructed, I think. I think the plastic could be a little bit better, but versus like the Bones and the fine cast, very few imperfections that cause me any real problems. Especially nothing major, like there's no like divots or holes that I had to fill. Um, so the models are pretty solid in the box. Then we came to these guys. This was more standard model. So the fins were different pieces. That intake was different pieces. The back end was like 3 pieces. The Stormtrooper was 1 piece, but then the little controls were a couple pieces. So these were actually building. Like, I actually had to build these ones. And not bad. Like, I was playing with the plastics on these guys, and I was feeling a little like, oh man, I don't want to build these tall guys so much. But then I actually got into building them, and the legs, super solid. The torso piece, more solid. I'm not sure if it's just a harder press, different plastic, or what, but they actually went together really easy. It wasn't a whole lot of extra effort, and I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was until I actually got them on the bases and started putting them together. And really good models, very solid. Like, I was going into this really hopeful because I'm a huge Star Wars geek, but as I was putting stuff together, checking out the rules, playing with the dice, I'm getting more and more excited for this. There's a couple expansions out. There's an ATST, the Chicken Walker. Totally got to get me one of those. And then this guy, they have a standalone for him. They have like Leia and Han Solo, and so some good characters coming out too. General Veers, guy that's in the AT-ATs. So yeah, I'm getting stoked. Characters this one comes with, we got Luke and Vader. Model wise, pretty good. Pretty easy to put together. These were the guys that actually had the most problems I had problems with, which is funny. Like, you know, the main characters you think they put a little bit extra time into, but it wasn't anything super bad. And a little bit of glue, a little bit of paint, and you're not even gonna notice the problems they had. There was his sockets in the arms. They're supposed to be pegs that fit into the torso. The pegs were a little big. Same thing with the headpiece going on there, that was a little big. So if you can see on this guy, it doesn't even look super bad for the way it's modeled. But there is a little bit of a gap in between the cloak and the body. And I messed it up. It comes a little bit better than that, but the peg was too big. Tried to shave off the peg, and then, yeah, you know, you can always make it smaller. You can't make it bigger, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I got the rule book here. I didn't show it in the last video, but there's this one, so it's not super big. This is everything. So, a little bit more rules intensive than 8th edition 40K, but not by a whole lot. It's pretty straightforward too. So this box set, what it seems like is, it looks like model to model, most things are pretty even. It's going to be more of a dice roll game. But on each side, you get yourself heavy gunner, captain. These guys have a specialist and some special weapons. Anti-tank weapon, special weapon, heavy. And you got your commander. And these guys are fast attack. They seem like they have a little bit of a decent gun, but kind of flimsy. This guy, a lot bigger gun, a little bit less flimsy. So like I said, it's model to model, pack to pack. Everything seems pretty even. I'll know more as soon as I get a couple games in. But yeah, I'm getting super excited. So hopefully on my next video I will have played a game or two, and I'm going to put some paint to some plastic and see how well these things paint up. I've had a problem with the bones before in the past. It did not want to accept a primer, so I'm hoping this will. And I heard somewhere that it's just ready to go as is, but I think a good primer is always a good bet. So yeah, next video, hopefully some games in, paint the models, and hopefully it looks good. Alright, remember guys, have fun out there.